Hello there, it is the rum.
And the wine.
Yeah, so in our kind of like, I guess this is the best places to live in Ireland series, we are here today in Wicklow. Yeah, we're not in Dublin, another one not in Dublin, because you know, everyone knows Dublin, or not. Yeah, so why are we here? Basically, everyone's looking for a place to, you know, rent, buy a house, and we luckily have some friends that did actually get a place here. So what other perfect excuse to actually see why they would choose to decide to live in Wicklow.
So in this series we talk a lot about the different buildings you might find. This building doesn't have much left of it, but the Black Castle is kind of one of the first things that gets mentioned about things to see in Wicklow Town. Other than the jail, which is a weird thing to mention first if you're trying to get people to come to your place. But this castle, I have to say, I understand now why everyone keeps recommending it. It is, well, what is left of it, and the long sweeping views you get from the very large windows in between of what's left is gorgeous. You get a gorgeous view of the sea, the coastline, the town itself. It's gorgeous.
But you know what would have been better for this view? If it was a sunny day. Thank you again, Ireland, for raining on us.
Always on the Saturdays.
Yeah, what is this? Spring? Summer? Can't tell. So, right now we are on Glen Beach. Yeah, this was going to be one of our first stops. Yeah, we were trying to get to this lovely old looking like lighthouse. But as we were walking there, saw a sign, somewhat restricted access. And you know us, we as much as we would love to go like, yeah sure, let's do it, I ain't trusting nothing that's a private property in these people foreign land. So yeah, Jules right here being bored of, you know, actually we're not bored, very disappointed.
Very pretty rocks to look at, but not as nice as a lighthouse on the view.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because we actually watched this video of, you know, Wicklow County thing about the town, and this lighthouse was directly in it. So we don't know if there's another path to it, but actually, yeah, we are on another path right now.
There is not a path up there, and I've never seen a hiking path with this many warning signs on it, and it says exposed cliff face things, and you see part of the cliff face there, and that looks pretty crumbly, so I don't know. I am too landlocked country person to be going that near the ocean on a cliff. No.
Enjoying the trip.
The cliff walk is surprisingly not as scary as we had mentioned. It's actually so much better than Hove. Hove is like, you look down and you're like, I could literally die at the tiniest wind gust. This one's pretty safe. There's like a wide area still between actual cliff and path, so it's not as bad as they make it out to seem.
Hi, so remember that walk? Yeah, we just did it. This is why we look so tired and washed out, as we usually do after walking, you know, what is it? Close to 8 kilometers maybe?
And some more elevation than we're used to from Dublin. Dublin is pretty flat in comparison to Wicklow.
Yeah, so yeah, we're right here on the beach, just, you know, taking a break here. Next up we're going to go to our friend's place, which is still, you know, a good 3 kilometers from here. So far we've walked all of this, you know, Wicklow so far. Pretty walkable. The town, at least, I know it's a big county, so don't come for me. You know, we can walk on the town. It's very walkable. It's a nice small town. We were just on the high street, was it?
Mm-hmm. So along the high street there's a whole bunch of little independent shops, little restaurants, a whole bunch of cafes, and actually we found an authentic Lebanese place where you got some very delicious meze for breakfast, brunch, whatever you want to call it. Perfect to start the day off for a little hike.
So my first impression so far is that, you know me, I love anywhere that has a seaside, and I really loved walking along the cliff there. Yeah, this beach, well, you know, it's no bray, but you know, at least it's a nice little, can't remember my geography, cove area to get to sit in, so that gets, you know, a thumbs up from me.
The beach also comes with this lovely tree trunk that's perfect height to be used as a bench, so that's very nice. So some things we noticed so far about Wicklow. The first of all is, like, it is a small town. It has about 10,000 inhabitants, like, at least according to the last census, that was quite a few years ago. So it is a relatively small town. People actually say hello on the street, which I haven't seen since the village I'm from. Like, it's not a thing in other places so far that we've been to in Ireland. Another thing is cash seems to be pretty prevalent here. Like, despite pandemic and all, we have walked several times past an ATM on the high street and there's always been a huge queue. Quite surprising to see anyone pay by cash in town in Dublin. Everyone pays, even like the protein bar that they maybe buy for $1.50 by card. Everything's by card. Another very surprising thing that we saw, because we knew there was a library, we didn't realise how popular it was though, because we were walking past it and there were people queuing up for the library to open on a Saturday morning. Like, I do think they might have had a kids event on because there were lots of people with kids, but it's really impressive to see a queue in front of the library waiting for it to open in the 21st century, so must be a pretty good library.
Yeah, an interesting story is that, yeah, today is of course a bank holiday. You don't know this because you never know when we actually record these, but now you have a clue. So of course, as in Dublin at least always, they work on the train stations during long weekends, so we've been forced to catch a bus. You don't usually hear us talking about buses, so we decided, let's check some reviews. You do not want to go to a search engine and see articles such as
Ireland's most complained about bus route is just the very one that we were about to travel on.
Yeah, so see us there thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be some trouble. But the surprising thing is that it was pretty easy. And of course, maybe that it's a Saturday morning at 8 AM when we caught the bus, but it was fairly empty, and you know, it was one of those big buses, pretty comfortable. And yeah, that was one of the most comfortable bus trips I ever had in my life. Yeah, as comfortable as it was, I don't know if it may be the same if you travel from it during the week, because that's what the article was really complaining about. The you know, the non-sticking to the schedule times of people trying to get to school and work. So yeah, I'll have to see if it actually changed or if it's like that still.
Yeah, I mean the friends we know who moved here work remotely, because to be honest, if you had to commute with a bus that comes like once an hour, every 30 minutes or something, and it's not so much on time, you have to go through all the traffic of South Dublin, Monday to Friday, that sounds quite bleak. So as with many places, when you look for where you could rent outside of Dublin, there's very little available. There was a 1-bedroom for a little over 1,000, which is a good price, except it's outside even the town, so you definitely need a car and all that, and it was a pretty small 1-bedroom. But there is some more options available if you're looking to buy. If you're only buying the land, it starts at around 100k for older sort of 3-bedroom houses. We saw some starting at 225k, and one sort of newer older houses from like the last few decades started 300k. So it's definitely a lot cheaper than Dublin, but there is also quite a few properties over $1 million, so it's on both ends of the price spectrum.
Now my only complaint is that, wow, it really feels like suburbia. I did say that the town was walkable, but the distance between things makes it feel like it's a lot more built for driving. Also, the new neighbourhoods also look very cookie cutter. If you go on Google Maps and drop yourself into the street view, yeah, you'd have to use the numbers of the houses to tell them apart from each other. In conclusion, Wicklow does feel a bit out of the way, especially if you're used to living in Dublin. But it's got this small town community feel with the coast and nature close by. I wouldn't live out there for the car, but it definitely feels like a place that you'd call home quickly. Yeah, we did meet this guy on the bus who, you know, actually lives there. I was saying that through the past few decades, it has been growing a lot and changing. Probably a lot of people are now moving to this place, not because of just how it is, but also the potential growth of this town.
If you enjoyed this video, do check out our other best places to live in Ireland and make sure you subscribe for future ones.
And we'll see you later. Bis später.
Bye.